Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Retro, and in this video we're going to take a look at the NES Pal-B Price guide. This is a guide made of all the games that were released in Pal-B format, and for your, just so you know, you have NTSC format, which is the United States, you have Pal-A format, which is Italy, the UK and Australia, and then you have Pal-B, which is pretty much the rest of Europe. There's a couple of games that were only released in Pal-B format. There are a lot of games that weren't released in Pal-B format, because as you can see, there's 339 games included for a complete list, and I believe if you have NTSC, you're over 800. So we did get the short end of the stick, but still, the Pal-B collection is something that has a lot of cool games and a lot of rarities. And as a collector, these kind of guides were the thing that got me, well, that gave me my sense of rarity and value. I have to be honest, I'm not into the NES market anymore. I haven't been for quite a long time. I was years and years ago, but for them, I can't even remember when I bought my last NES game. They're way too expensive for me at this point, in the sense that I don't really want to fork out the cash for them, because I don't play them anyway. I already have a lot of rarities. So NES is definitely not my focus at this point. The games that I still buy are usually for PlayStation or Sega. But for the NES, it's really cool to look into this guide. So let's scroll through it. These are the two guys that made the guide, Marcel and Dennis, and they've sent me a copy to show you guys. As you can see, the guide is in German and in English. So if you don't speak German, which I do a small bit, but not a lot, it's also here in English. So let's browse through it. Let's zoom out a bit. First, you of course have your preface. There you go. Now, here's the rarity guide, and that's of course an important thing. A red one is an absolute rarity. Orange, yellow, green, and very green. Here's a list of every game included, so that you can easily find if your game is there. And because sometimes games have different names or different kind of ways to call them. And just every game is shown like this. You have the cartridge picture, not the box, which is... Personally, I'm a collector of complete in box games, and I prefer to see the box, the manual, and the different codes connected to that. So I'm really missing that. Because for instance, if you have games which end on the EEC code, it's quite different what kind of manual code you have. So I would love information on that to be in this guide. So this is the name, Lose, which is just cartridge, SIP, cartridge inlay and box, or inserts and box. Then you here have the text in German, and here it is in English. As you can see, it's also known as SCAT in the US and Final Mission in Japan, and this is a yellow game, so it's a yellow medium rare. And here we have, and these are just the way the pages are organized. And personally, I love rarity, and this is why, or this is how I got into having a sense of it, like I said. And guides like this, or especially on Nintendo Age, is what made me go after certain games and recognize certain games. I also see here Asterix, which is, well, very green, so really common. But in America, that game isn't released, so that fetches an extra price there. Same goes for Banana Prince, which in Europe is quite uncommon. So let's see what kind of games are rare or very rare. Let's see if I have that. Captain America, don't have that. Castlevania, very common, but still a high price. Championship Rally is considered the second rarity, don't have that. I do have some of the really rare ones, but not all of them. For instance, Devil World I don't have, Die Hard I do have. I think I showed that in one of those Let's Play videos, where we played the PlayStation version of Die Hard. Let's find a red rare, there we have one. Flintstones Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. Don't have that. I've seen it in real life, but the price for a complete copy, which goes up to 600 here. Like I said, I'm not into the market anymore, but it seems kind of low. I think I'd buy it at 600 euros, because I think I've seen it go over 1,000. Then let's see what else is rare. Gold Medal Challenge 92. Ah yeah, that's the NTSC, if not SCN only. As you see here, SCN exclusive in the Pal-B region, so that means it was only released in the Scandinavian region. Like Rodland, for instance, was only released in the España, so Spain region for Pal-B, and Pal-A Italy. Indie Heat, also quite rare. Kickle Cubicle, really fun game. So, and it keeps going, like here, Zelda, even if you see people, oh, golden cartridge, very rare. No, the gray cartridge is more rare, and it's very, very common. That doesn't say anything about the price it demands, but it's very, very common. Little Samson. I remember buying this complete in box for 50 euros and thinking, wow, that's a lot of money for a game. I did a good deal. Mega Man's, except for Mega Man 5, definitely not rare, but again, commanding a high price. Miracle Piano Teaching System. Here's another red one. Mr. Gimmick. That's one of the few NES games that I really want to have, but I just don't want to fork out the cash for it. But that's a really cool game. Also very rare, and that's a bad combination for collectors. I do have Stadium Events, which we'll see in a bit probably. But that's a really rare game, really valuable, but it's shit. And Mr. Gimmick is fun. Here, Phantom Air Mission, which I personally would consider, along with Snowboard Challenge, to be one of the two top rares. And RC Pro M2, which we'll probably see here. Yeah, see, RC Pro M2. Also only released in Scandinavia, very rare. Let's see, where's Stadium Events? Side Pocket. Snowboard Challenge, like I said, this goes for up to 1200, so that's the highest we've seen so far. Snow Bros, Snow Brothers. There you have Stadium Events. Oh, it's not even considered red rarity, but it does go for high price, and that's mainly because of the story behind it. Also, Stack Up 250 euros. Yeah, okay, maybe if you have the black box edition, but if you have the big box edition like I have, 250 euros wouldn't even make me doubt thinking about selling it. So that's very, very low. Maybe because I have a personal attachment to it, but 1,000 euros wouldn't even be close to enough to get me to get rid of that Stack Up. Trolls, also very rare. Also one I have. Hope you're not having a lot of extra sound. One guy, an idiot outside, is honking his horn all the time. So some commercial, and here you see where you can get the book if you want to have a copy of this book. They're on Facebook, NES CMDO, and they also have a YouTube channel. And this is a picture of the entire collection if you have it. So that's also very cool. Like I said, I'm a complete in box collector, not a cartridge collector. This is the collection of those guys. But yeah, cards, they're of course the pure game itself, but I as a collector really want to have the complete version. So all in all, a nice manual which is cool to have, and to have a nice overview of all the NES games out there. Personally, I would love it to be for complete in-box games and also have more information about the manuals, the codes, etc. But still a very nice item to have in your collection as an NES collector. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Check me out on facebook.com/drretromd and see you next time. Bye bye.